All right, this is the right of reply debate. Let me just get rid of the chat window. There we go. Because I don't have chat going on right now. But yeah, anyways, we're just gonna go fucking ham today. All right, let's see. I'm gonna give him like 30 full minutes to, say a spiel, and then I'm just gonna stop giving a fuck. Because it's a fucking pain in the ass to deal with. Let's be honest. Yeah, I'll just fucking call him right now. Fucking, let's go. I mean, if he doesn't, then it's whatever. Alright, cool. Let's do it. There we go. Hi, buddy.
How'd you do?
I'm just enjoying life. Did Naxxramas last night in World of Warcraft. Are you familiar with World of Warcraft?
I'm familiar with World of Warcraft. Is that why you rang me?
Do what?
Is that what you want to debate me about, World of Warcraft?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
Let's see. I guess we can continue on from like the Destiny shit. I guess. I mean, I've heard it kind of like run pretty much everything that I wanted to run in Discord, but we can do it again.
Listen, I have that many conversations with that many people. Right? Yeah, you're gonna have to remind me. What is it?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm speaking, man. I'm speaking. I insist on one thing. If I'm speaking, don't speak over me, and I will show you the same courtesy. If you want to remind me what you wish to debate with me about, I'm more than happy to engage with you. Shoot.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with Destiny's a pedo. Why not? Go ultra controversial. That whole thing.
Okay. And what's your issue with any of my claims?
Let's see. I mean, the central claim that Destiny's a pedophile. It's a big one.
Just so I know when you finish speaking, can you pause your microphone when you finish?
Yeah, sure. Let me make sure it works. There we go.
Right, yeah. So you've got an issue with my claim that Destiny is a paedophile. So
yes.
What's your issue with my?
Specifically, I guess from earlier in the Discord, your definition of a criminal is so broad that it allows pretty much most people to end up being criminals, less making the label itself less what's the word I'm looking for, devastating, I guess, to like a person's character, really. Because it's got you're lessening the negative connotation basically of it to mean anyone who like thinks about doing a crime, whether it is ironic or not, and at that point you kind of just it becomes nearly meaningless. And so that's I guess your characterization of a criminal is a weird thing too. That's kind of like part of that, and also too, I guess I don't think you have any strong evidence that Destiny is in fact a pedophile either. So
for starters, right? It's not my definition of criminal. It's the English constitutional law's definition of criminal. You're borrowing the English language right now. So therefore, it comes with rules and conditions. For you to insinuate that it's mine and mine alone, and I'm lessening something, is false and fallacious.
Would you like to pull that up?
I'm speaking, man. I'm speaking. Don't you dare speak over me when I show you the same respect, right? Yeah? Criminal, the definition, right? Yeah, comes with rules and conditions. They're not set or made by me. They are set and made by legal scholars and professionals, right? Yeah. I adhere to them. If you have an issue with the definition of criminal, that's your issue with the definition of criminal, not mine. Every single thief, every single paedophile, every single criminal is a criminal, regardless of whether they've been prosecuted for a crime or not. If they are involved in crime in any which way, shape, or form, then that is criminal under the definition of criminal, which also includes those prosecuted for crimes. Secondly, as far as proof that Destiny is a paedophile is concerned, he makes jokes about raping children. That's all the proof I need to make the claim. If you require more proof than that, then again, that's on you, not me. So what's your issue?
So one, I'm going to need you to demonstrate how thinking about a crime makes you a criminal and how that is concordant with like any sort of laws. Last time I checked, thought crime is not something that is, one, easily prosecutable, and two, something that actually exists in law. Two, when you're talking about people who have committed crimes and whether or not they get caught, those are actions that are taken in the physical realm that someone does. And thoughts are not necessarily something that is actionable. The reason why, to preempt this, that we prosecute people who attempt to do crimes is because they've shown the intent and they've done actions that display their intent. And those can be prosecutable. Whereas just thinking about the things, keeping it inside your head, is not something you can prosecute. And if you think so, then that means we now allow for us to prosecute thought crime, which I think is pretty dumb. And it's also not really actionable either. But yeah, no, people making jokes about controversial subjects. I mean, I guess the big one about like 9/11. People can do that. That doesn't mean that they're not like they're pro Al Qaeda or something. That doesn't mean they're like for terrorism or for like the 9/11 attack in general. People can make jokes. They can make edgy jokes. Whether or not they're good is kind of at the subject of the audience that they're pertaining to. And it also is not necessarily indicative of their underlying thoughts or intentions. And I think you need to prove that Destiny has an intention or has any sort of like plans or any sort of like extensive plans of or actions, in fact, of raping children. And to the counter of that, he's debated a pedophile like before. The famous one being Amos Yee. So, I mean, like, he seems to be pretty anti-pedophile to me. If he's going against the grain on people who want to lower the age of consent and all that. So, I don't know. Not looking good for you.
Well, no, it's not looking good for you. You don't know how to quote individuals precisely. I've never once said thinking of a crime is a crime. That's something you made up. There's a difference between crime and a criminal, right? Yeah. You can be a criminal without ever committing a crime, right? Yeah? Under the definition of criminal. Now, if you don't like that, that's on you. Stop blaming me for the definition of criminal, right? Yeah. You are conflating two different issues in life. Those who commit crime get caught, apprehended, and prosecuted. Right, yeah, and or fucking set free or whatever because there's not enough crime evidence for prosecuting the crime, and being a criminal, right? Yeah, many gangster rappers confess to being criminals and they've never been convicted of crimes. It's every day in music, culture, and everything. It's part of life. Your agreement with that is irrelevant and meaningless to me. Secondly, I've got a question for you. Do you find jokes about raping children funny? You don't need to answer that right now. You can answer it in your reply. Because if you do, then I would call you a paedophile. And if you don't like that, then tough shit. Consider it a joke, right? Yeah. Right. If you're the sort of individual that makes jokes at the expense of victims of child rape, right? Yeah. Then there's no point getting touchy-feely when you get called a paedophile after the fact, right? Yeah. Because you're making jokes at the expense of child rape victims. So just consider anyone calling you a paedophile after you've made jokes about child rape as another joke on equal merits if you don't like it. Either way, I already know that Destiny is a paedophile as far as I'm concerned, right? Yeah? And anybody I catch crossing my path in this space, making jokes about child rape, I will call a paedophile whether they like it or not, label them, make videos about them, and expose them as paedophiles. If you don't like that, that's on you. Again, not my problem, none of my business, right? Yeah. So, have I answered your questions? And I want you to answer mine. Do you, in front of everybody's list, in front of everybody here listening, and we'll listen to this on the replay, does Bones of Doom find jokes about child rape funny? Yes or no?
I think jokes about calling a child rapist creepy and weird and definitely mentally unwell and potentially criminals if they've made any actions upon it. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of funny, or rather, I think it can be funny depending on the execution and all that. Not all comedians are created equal, and the one that Destiny made in this case with again another consenting adult in that joke. It was to kind of display that it's like a creepy act. I think like that's my interpretation of it. It could be wrong, but I think that's my interpretation. And no, I did not find that specific joke funny. It was like lame, and I was also on Twitter, which is devoid of any sort of like I guess the vocal delivery that a joke would have, and as well as like the going back to the criminal thing. You think that someone thinking about a crime makes them a criminal, whether done with intention or not.
No, I don't.
Oh, now you're interrupting me. Okay. Are you interrupting me, buddy?
You misquote me one more time, I'll leave.
So, what makes a criminal, what you've demonstrated by talking about rappers saying that they've done crimes, is that they did the crimes. Or at least they say they do, in this case. Is that means that they've done an action. They've shown intention to do crime, and they've then committed upon it. And now they say that they've done the crime, which means that makes them a criminal at that point. Not when they think about it. Or not when they make jokes about it, in this case. Because they're not showing an actual intention to do so. If they're just making like jokes. Or just saying that they've done it. Because it's the action or the intent to do an action, which is the important distinction in making someone a criminal. And in this case, I guess like a pedophile as well. And I'm going to go back to Destiny's Amos Yee debate, where he debated against a pedophile who wanted to lower the age of consent, and Destiny was for not lowering the age of consent, which is something that, generally speaking, pedophiles would want, because since pedophiles have an attraction to children, they want to be able to say that children can consent. In this case, if they want to justify their attraction as moral. And that's what Amos Yee was debating in this case, is that children could consent, which is why he wanted to lower the age of consent. And Destiny pushed back, saying that things like mental development and all that were kind of like a big limiting factor. And that the power dynamics as well of having an adult-child relationship would more likely than not lead to negative outcomes, but also like the power dynamic itself is really bad because it opens up for that child abuse. And that was his primary arguments. Now, I haven't seen any content that shows that Destiny has walked back on that in any way, shape, or form. Nor have I seen anything to the contrary, where he's like made statements about pedophilia and all that. Now, if you do, and if you can demonstrate that the joke demonstrates that he was walking back on his earlier comments about things like child consent and adult-child relationships, and if you have anything related to that, where you can demonstrate that he has like an actual genuine intention to commit these sort of acts, then I'm all for that evidence. I'm not going to sit here and say I defend pedophiles because I think they're kind of gross. They're pretty bad, and I think they should get help. But if you have that evidence that he has like a genuine intention of doing so and cannot just be like easily dismissed as like a joke between two adults, whether or not it was like a good joke or a bad joke, then like I'm all here for it. So you wanna provide me that content?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've not seen the paedophile Destiny debate a fellow paedophile about whether they want to lower the age of consent or not. I've not seen that. However, I have seen him walk it back. If you're saying you've seen that, subsequently. The paedophile Destiny has walked it back subsequently in a debate with Mr. Girl, Nick Ricky, and some elderly trans man, woman sort of thing. I don't know. Dick Masterson, someone else. I can't remember. Lauren, I think, some right winger, or wannabe right winger blogger. Anyway, they were in a debate together, and Destiny clearly said that he agrees with children being able to consent to hormone blockers without the parents' consent, and of adults to be able to give them to children without the parents' consent. That, as far as I'm concerned, confirmed that he's a paedophile, and there's no one that's going to be able to convince me otherwise. Only a paedophile would want to give a child drugs without the parents' consent, the biological parents' consent. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like what? That's just insane to me. Why anyone would say that out loud? So yeah, you most definitely did walk back age of consent issue, right? Yeah, and trying to alleviate the power of the biological parents and what they have over the child they bring into this world and how they educate them and bring them up, right now, over this bullshit trans issue or whatever. So yes, Destiny the paedophile agrees with administering drugs or being able to give drugs to children without the parents' consent. So that makes him a paedophile as far as I'm concerned. And he also jokes about fucking kids. So he's 100% a paedophile, and anyone that dares to defend him is defending a paedophile. So, do you wanna carry on defending a paedophile?
All right, I love your lovely moral crusade there. So not only have you just completely moved off the topic of pedophilia into like hormone blockers and trans kids, like let's be honest. The attraction to kids is incongruent with whether a trans child gets hormone blockers. Can you accept that?
No.
Okay, good. Then you're just retarded. Okay, you're just fucking retarded, dude. A pedophile is literally someone who's attracted to children. How do you display an attraction to children if you are for putting them on puberty blockers?
You asked me a question. If you or anyone, right? Yeah. Attempt to give children under the age of consent drugs without the parents' consent, you're a paedophile.
Do you know the age of consent is related to them consenting to sex, right?
No, it's
then their ability to.
It's not
no. There's like different ages of consent for things, whether it's like voting or like alcohol or like being or like any sort of like medical treatments. Okay. Can you recognize that there's different age of consents for things relating to sex and for things related to medical treatments, right?
Right. I'm going to leave if you speak over me again. You asked me a question. The age of consent is not just about sex. The age of consent is about work, employment, right? Yeah, and legal competency, right? Yeah, a child cannot consent to taking drugs, right? Yeah, it's the parents' consent that's required. Destiny wants that parents' consent removed and allow the child, right, yeah, to go to any stranger or adult, right, yeah, and have drugs administered to them. That, as far as I'm concerned, is opening up the floodgates for paedophiles to take advantage of children beyond the parents' sphere. And that, to me, are the actions and ideologies of people that want to get hold of children and fuck with them sexually and their sexual organs. So yes, Destiny has proved himself to me as being a paedophile. What's your problem?
So once again, this is completely unrelated to the definition of pedophile, which is someone who's attracted to children. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm just gonna let you mute yourself. I'm just gonna mute you on my end, anyways, just so that I don't have to, listen to your blabber. But someone who is a pedophile is someone who is attracted to children. Do you agree? Yes or no? I'm going to unmute you.
Are you a pedophile that's attracted to children?
No.
I imagine so. Defending one, yes, I agree. Yes.
So you think that so you agree with the definition that someone is a pedophile is an adult who's attracted to a child, correct?
Yes, and the way
how does being for giving a child puberty blockers under like a medical context, either whether it's like early onset of puberty or whether it's a trans child, how does a trans child getting puberty blockers through the advice of a licensed professional, whether it be their whether it be their doctor and a psychologist working together, or like whatever combination of experts there are.
I have no clue what you're on about. There's some
Do you
pedo
think
stuff
that
in
is do you think that is equivalent to someone being attracted to a child and wanting to have sex with them? Do you think those two are equivalent things? Do you think that
Yeah.
the puberty blocker situation is congruent with someone who is attracted to a child?
Absolutely, yes, Destiny, 100%
How,
a pedophile.
how does being
Correct.
for puberty blockers display an attraction to children?
Absolutely, Destiny is 100% a
I'm
pedophile.
asking
Correct,
you
you
how.
are correct.
I'm asking you
Yeah,
how.
you're correct. Absolutely, I agree with you. Destiny is
How
100% a pedophile. Correct. You're
does
correct, but Destiny is a
someone
pedophile. I agree.
who advocates for putting children on
I
puberty
agree.
blockers
I agree with you.
display
Yeah,
an
Destiny is a
attraction
pedophile. Yes.
to children?
Destiny wants to
How
give
is that?
Destiny wants to give puberty blockers to children under the age of consent, right? Yeah, because he's a paedophile. I agree with you, 100%.
How
Is there
how
anything
does
you can
how does
add?
that display that he's attracted to children?
Oh, because he's made jokes about fucking children.
No. Now we're moving back and forth. How does being
What you
for
about saying?
how
He's
does being
paedophile.
for puberty blockers for children? How is that
Yes, I agree.
showing
Yes, I
a
agree.
attraction? How?
Anyone,
No. Okay.
anyone.
Okay.
Can I finish
I
my
need
sentence?
I need you to let me finish right now. How does being for puberty block? Okay, cool. He's gonna block me, isn't he? Oh, that was easy. Is he gonna get back on? Let's go. Come on, buddy. Come on back. Nope. He doesn't want to come back on. Oh well. So, for the no people that are watching this or will watch this once I upload this, he cannot demonstrate that someone who is for giving trans kids puberty blockers is the same as someone who's attracted to a child, or is a congruent thing to someone who's attracted to a child. Advocating for children to go on puberty blockers if they're trans does not show an attraction to them at all. I know it is a very spicy take, but I guess it's too spicy for Reddit retard. So I don't know. I hope he has a good day. You know. See, I knew 22 minutes in the recording at this point. Like 15 minutes of debate. I said I'd give him 30, but damn, that was way shorter. I thought he'd last a little longer. I'm gonna call him again. Let's see. Will he bite? Oh, did he block me already? Okay. Oh, it was 21 minutes? Okay, never mind. Oh, nope, he unfriended me. Okay, well. Oh, that was easy. Well, I guess I'll just throw this to YouTube at some point then.